Everybody, this is Madmaxed here with another raid video, and today is about SkullCrusher. Now, I don't use SkullCrusher anymore, but I have Valkyrie. Valkyrie does exactly the same thing that he does, only it's a little bit better. Of course, she's a Lego. This is an epic. He is one of the few people that actually has a counter. I mean, some people have a counter, but they throw it on themselves. But he throws a counter on the entire team. That's what his A2 is. Does it for 2 turns on 3-turn cooldown. He applies Allied Protect. He does a counter attack. He does Unkillable. Now, this champ's pretty old for me. I haven't upped his gear. Now, I used to use him a little bit in Clan Boss, and that's the reason he's got all the speed gear on, because when you get him up in Clan Boss, you got to have, like on Ultra Nightmare, you need about 240 speed. And he can keep up that counterattack for all those AoEs. And of course, that one time that he doesn't have a counterattack up, it's a stun anyway. It only hits one person. So if you time him right, he's really useful in Clan Boss for that. Because if you get it timed out right, and you'll be where the counter's up, and everybody on the team is going to counterattack the Clan Boss for all those AoEs. And it's with the A1, it's not a huge amount of damage, but it is some, and it does help you. Now, if you look at his masteries, I mean, I basically went down and did the standard offensive one with War Master. I went down for the defensive one because he's a defensive player, and you'll gain a little bit more. Because, like, you take the extra 75 defense. Well, the extra 75 defense is because all of his skills are based on defense, every one of them. Now, on the one that he hits, he doesn't have but one hit. That's it. But he has a heal reduction. Now, I put the speed gear on him. Like I said, if I were going to do him for just Fire Knight, I would probably stick him with. If I was going to probably do him for just Clan Boss, I'd probably stick Stalwart gear on him, and I would probably get enough Stalwart gear where I got the extra speed. But he's fairly slow, and to get him up to 240 is about what you need for Clan Boss for Nightmare and above. You're going to have to stick some speed gear on him probably. You're not probably going to be able to get it with the substats. You actually want his accuracy up a little bit so you can actually get that heal reduction and work on the Fire Knight. If you don't have a Cold Heart has a 100% reduction. He only has a 50, so Cold Heart is much better. And I usually use Cold Heart in a Fire Knight run because she does really good damage. And I won't show you what he does. And I'm in the wrong one. I'm in my dungeons if I go to it. But I'll show you what he does in Fire Knight, because Fire Knight, once that counter is up, and what he's going to do is, right before he shields, he's going to hit everybody and he's going to shield. Then everybody gets to counter attack. So what you want is somebody that has a lot of A1 attacks, multiple hits. Cold Heart has 4. Arbiter has 2. Then you're going to get 2 from Bessus, and you'll get one from Bad L that I use, but you don't have to use Bad L. You can use whoever that helps heal you some. I mean, this is just the team that I use. But the Cold Heart, and between Cold Heart and Vestus, I mean, they usually can keep him from ever shielding again, or if he shields maybe once or twice the most out of this, unless you get really unlucky and you're really out of sync. And Arbiter's just there to pick everybody up in case, and Arbiter's just there to pick everybody up in case that she has, I really should move that around. But Arbiter's there just in case that she moves everybody around. And if somebody goes down and to pick that up, and that's all she's there for. She doesn't serve any other purpose at all. And like when I do, for all the rounds, I usually just let it go because he's going to use that malice to start with. He actually poisoned quite a bit. So We're going to start it off, and I've already set Cold Heart up to not use the A2 in the last round because she's got reflex gear on, and she always will sit down and do she'll always do that A3 that you're looking for, which is that big hit. And the one that's really going to do most of the damage here is Bad L. It's just from the poisons. I mean, the other ones are going to damage some. Cold Heart will do a pretty good bit, you know, in these rounds, but she does a lot more damage once you get to the boss because of that A4. But anyway, I'm going to pause it here. There's no use in watching all the run through of this because this is really pretty easy run through for these. It takes about 2 minutes. And I might add, when you look at this, like I did, when you got Vestas up in him, well, you know, most of the time, got a counter attack up. So when Vestas throws that provoke, then she's just going to counter every time they hit her, which makes it a little bit more damage you get from her. Now you see, you got the provoke up from him, so that protects Cold Heart and all your other players. Now he has a shield that he places on himself. Of course, I don't have the counter up quite yet. And if I'd had the counter up, I would have been hitting back on everybody. See, I still have one provoke still up. So they're going to hit him. They're going to hit Vestas, her, and then she's going to hit right back. But it's not a whole lot of damage, but, it is what it is. I mean, it's some. But, but the counters help a lot. I mean, even going through the waves a little bit with her doing the provokes. And we're about 2 minutes and 30 seconds out. This is not a real speed team. This is just one of those teams that you're 100% sure is always going to work. It's never going to fail. You've got Bad L sitting there, with the reflex gear on. So is Cold Heart. So they have those cooldowns, so there's more poison going on. I see he's going to do this, and he's going to he throws the counter, but he doesn't hit when he first goes out. Unfortunately, because you can get him broke out real quick. Now, see, you're going to get some of the turn meter knocked down from that. And if Cold Heart's A3 had been up, it would have knocked it all the way back down. But now Cold Heart would have died without all the allied protect and everything from SkullCrusher. Now, once broke out, if Cold Heart's up, it'll sit down and it'll knock all the turn meter back down. Yep. And you see Cold Heart does the major damage. It doesn't really show you a really good thing about this so far, but like if the counter is up right before he shields, and of course, it's like with the ones I've got here, it seldom ever shields back up. But if he did, and the counter is up, then you're going to get all those hits on him, and the turn meter is going to be where everybody's going to get to go again and again against him, which helps a lot. And Vestas, I've already put a few books in her, and so, she get a little bit more than an 80% chance, of knocking that turn meter down. She's got plenty enough accuracy. When it fails because, like I think it's at 90% right now. But now see, he's fixing the shield, I think. And the turn meter, no. Cold Heart had her turn up. So, see, this is a good rotation, but Skull Crown keeps everybody alive. It's really easy. I mean, between him and between Bad L doing all the heals, I mean, this is a really tanky team for as this goes. I see the counters up. I see the turn meter doesn't go. If you look at the yellow bar up top, hasn't moved at all because they've got to sit down and get all their counters in before it actually counts as a hit. And so, see, the turn meter was almost completely down. That's a good example of what that counter does for you. And and that helps you a lot in this because it speeds it up tremendously. But like I've got a much faster team than this, but this is to kind of showcase what SkullCrusher can do, with a team. You don't really need bad L. Bad L actually will slow you down some. I mean, have a healer's okay, but that's what you're looking for, and how to build SkullCrusher, how to actually, use him to your advantage in Fire Knight. Now he works pretty well in Ice Golem too, for the same reason, because when he gets hit with those AoEs and everybody's got those counters up, unless they get froze, they're gonna strike back. So, he's useful in a lot of dungeons. I mean, he's useful there. He's useful for Dragon, because Dragon, you're going to get those AoEs, and every time you get those AoEs from the Dragon, you get your counters. But this is kind of give you an idea of how to build him. Like I said, if I were building him again and I was not going to use him in clan balls, I would probably put stalwart gear on him where he'd be a little bit more survivable. Because when everybody takes those AoE damage attack, he's also taking the damage from them with that allied protect. So you want him a little bit